So we're back, and it's really hot, Gunny. But I don't know. It's like hold, please hold. So we're back, and yeah, it's so just so hot today, and like I don't know. It's like not. Uh, yeah, it was just so hot, and what I hate about about uh, the the weather, like the temperature being so high in the day, it's how it's gonna be at night in my room because my room collects a lot of heat like from the walls and from the ceiling, I guess. And I mean, my room has a big, really big window, but that doesn't suffice or alleviate the situation. But basically, when this room is locked, I always lock it. And when I go, I mean, when I'm home, the moment I open it, it's just so hot. It's like literally a microwave because when you close the window, the air, of course, can't pass in. But and this room is like, I, the main house is like in this side, like behind this, all this, and oof, not the pit reveal. Sorry. Anyway, anyway. Uh, so yeah, the the previous room that I had was somehow like inside the the house, and it's just like the room would be like this. This is the room, my room, and my parents' room, and then there would be a shared hallway, like this really teeny tiny small hallway, and that would just lead to the living room, and the right side would be like the living room slash dining room, and like there's like another hallway. Then that would lead. It's literally just a hallway with like a sink on it. Well, our house is not that big because it's just right across. Are we gonna do this today? Anyway, I'm gonna close the window just because Yeah, I couldn't do that, but yeah. So basically, that's that. I mean, and then I hated that room. Why am I renting it? But basically, yes, I begged them to make another room. So there's like a space, like there's like a really big space for parking lot, and like an open space where there's like literally nothing there. So we just decided to build the my room here. So this is basically that's why it's so hot in here because the sun is just centered. You know what I mean? Like there's no shade uh, from the other neighboring house because the main house where it's built, like our house, just like I described, is like it behind the wall are another is another house, and like there are houses near them. Like it's just the wall dividing, and my room is just literally just detached from the actual house. That's why, and this is like literally where I'm sitting is the parking lot, and behind me would be the gate, the sliding gate, and they had to remove that and move it to the other side. So that's the parking lot now, and so yeah, there's no shade, and the sun would just go, you know, here, and it would be so hot. Okay, I haven't opened the stuff right yet, so hold on. Because right after this, I would, okay. So, do you think? Oh, I like this question. Do you think that you can learn new things no matter how old you get? Yes. Well, there are many perspectives. This is a perspective question. So yeah, and yeah, because like just like I said, there are many you could literally see it in like people where, you know, I'm, the examples I have is like really based from my demographic in the Philippines, because ever since I was a child, there would be uh, someone who was aged that would graduate from college, from elementary, from high school, because because they want to. That's not something. That's not the luxury that they could get. I mean, that's not. I mean, that's not the luxury that they could have, that they had when they were of age of when they were at the age that they should be in school. And they want that. They have the drive. They want to learn. And there's this saying in Filipino, or pretty much, it's pretty much. I think it's also cliche in English, where the only thing that can't be taken from you is your knowledge or your education. And yeah, it's true. Really, how can someone take your knowledge because it's all yours? That's not gonna be going anywhere. This is a really big pimple, by the way. Like this one, like I put a lot because it's just a really huge zit. So yeah, and for me, I think growing up from being a newborn to a toddler to a child, I mean to a really to a small kid, to a pre-adolescent, to someone or like to a teenagers dealing with, I think the most that would be like from 0 to 18 years old. I mean, I'm 21, and I think that, let's just say, zero from early 20s, or let's just say zero from 21, would be the most crucial part of learning. Like, for me, like people, or like if the parents are really guiding with their children in like their studies, then that child would really be into studies too, unless they resent the parents for being so controlling or forcing these, forcing learning, or for the sake, just out of spite, for reputation, or for the sake of just wanting the child to excel for them, but not for the child. It's just invalidating the child's social and well-being. Like, what does your children want? Like, what do they actually want to do? Like today, they can't really learn every day. You can't force them to learn something just because you just want them to ace all of their tests. And when they don't, you get so disappointed in them that you know you yell at them, you tell them that you're really disappointed. You compare them to other children who you think is better than them. Yeah, that is just a combo. Your child will resent you forever. That's like I said, it's really crucial in that age. And I'm talking about like elementary to like high school stage. That would be like, up to, let's say, 16. I guess that's it. And there would be no learning, and there would be more rebelling. And okay, and then yeah, how would they learn? So I guess, yeah, at that point of time, there's not much realization. So they would be preoccupied of things that they think that matter, things that they are deprived with, like fun, hanging out. So they would be really and going on relationships where they feel validated because their parents couldn't give that to them. And I noticed that in many of my videos, I really I really like talking about the deep root of like stuff, even though it's not really remotely related with my the question that I'm answering. But I think it's still necessary because yeah. What I mean by this is that what am I talking? Why am I talking about rebellion and stuff? Because in this time of age, where this child is actually or is supposed to be digesting and learning these new informations and opening, like, discovering new horizons and getting being aware of the social situations of the world, they would be more self-centered, or they would just give that energy to, just like I said, like fun, and like pretty much not doing anything, because when they do learn, or like they just get reminded of how miserable that is. Like, there would be no driving force that would make them learn, I guess. And that's pretty much true. That's like the most likely to happen, because, yeah, well, duh. So the learning would be stunted. This child would really resent learning and their parents, because they're pretty much really synonyms of like similar. Because when they remember their parents, they would remember how invalidated they would feel. So there would be trauma, and like they would feel like, if, like, what's there's no there's no purpose. Like, why bother learning, or why bother getting these information when, you know, when they're all just for validation, academic validation stuff. So, yeah, at that time, there would be no learning. And when they are older, they, the learning would come, of course, because let's say they have a fully developed frontal lobe now. They would realize that maybe partly, they would understand their parents' perspective in a way, or just a few parts, like not the entire stuff. So that's when they learn. It's not about learning informations like, subjects. It's about learning a lifelong lesson, learning lessons that would really help them grow as a person. So that's, it would be late. It would be too late for them to realize that, to learn, and to reflect on that. So yeah, but that's, just like I said, they're like late bloomers, and this is where the question gets answered. What's it called again? I mean, do you think that you can learn new things no matter how old you get? Well, yeah. As long as you're alive, you're still in this world. Life is just a wonderful thing where you can just go on with your life and learn everything. And it really, just like I said, it really depends on the person, on their race, culture, with their principles, their moral compass. Basically, what matters to them is really just what matters to them. So everything is so authentic. Their choices, what they want, what they like, what they don't like, and the decisions they make. Because you know everybody's so different, so you can't really judge someone for not learning this, for being ignorant at this. But instead, in another perspective, in my perspective, I feel like people who are ignorant about something that is really vague or really vile, some information that doesn't even need to be learned by you know, with just the means of someone like me, because it just makes you think more. And this goes along with the saying, ignorance is a bliss, and this can be interpreted with many ways, because ignorance is a bliss is that your ignorance would be your disadvantage in situations where you need to be aware of stuff, so you can't deal with the situations that needs that knowledge, or in, like, in school academically it's hard to be ignorant. And another thing, ignorance could be your advantage. They're like, is it studies or just some post I've read that people people who know more are more sad people. Yeah, it's basically that. People who knows more are somehow sadder, or gives time to be, to reflect and somehow, like, feel that, feel that void, feel that they need that they're feeling that they need to fill that void. So yeah, and then yeah, so yeah, I think that really ignorance is a bliss because it's not like I know everything. It's just I'm so aware. Like it's so fucked up that I know these stuff that I've seen stuff. I've seen videos. It's not just digesting information, like really disturbing information, but there are a lot of stuff that like I already faced, and it makes me desensitized. So I would feel less, and I hate that. I'm really a feeler person where like I'm pretty much an empath, but I really love it when the feeling is authentic to me. The feeling is somehow like a curious feeling. You know, it is a first feeling that you felt this, or you felt this by smelling this or looking at this feeling of nostalgia. It's just so beautiful. Life is beautiful. And, you know, like I said, just walking around the earth, even though you've lived, just like me, I've lived, uh, born and raised in the same city, and now I go to college, and I'm still in the same city. I still learn every day. I mean, not much. I've been wanting to go and like go to places like a new place where I could meet like new people. It's kind of sad because I can't. But I guess as you grow older, I always say I'm turning 21 in like a week. Yeah, it's literally a week. Like next Saturday, I'll be 21. Anyway, that you'd be more patient when you grow older. And I wish that, you know, I'm showing this is just me saying because I realize, or like, my frontal lobe is almost fully developed. I wish. Because just like I said, even though I can't go to that place right now, like, there will be more time for me. Because when you think about the future, you get overwhelmed. When you feel a lot in the present, you get overwhelmed. There's really no escape in being overwhelmed, really, except by just really entertaining yourself, really putting that energy onto yourself. Because who's gonna use that energy? Like, if you're giving energy to a lot of people, then you know how would you learn? Really, how would you learn about life? Really, just being a pleaser just takes a lot of you. What's left for you? I mean, if you're rich, then it would be a different story. But the energy I'm talking about is like the social energy, everything that you know. It just takes a lot from you. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's read the question again. Do you think that you can learn new things no matter how old you get? Of course. I mean, if you get there's like I was gonna say if you get dementia or something, but it's not. It's really not relevant. It's just me being dark and edgy and fuck that shit. Just being dark humor and thinking I'm so fucking funny. But yeah, of course. You know, I really wish that I could learn new things. And I mean, I've been yapping about learning lessons because I think for me that would be really beneficial when you grow older, really, because uh, when you go and like go socialize, pretty much, if you're in college, you would feel like all of you are kind of like when you're in a classroom taking a test or like doing like this requirement, you are all kind of equal, and that's when you realize that learning. If I learn more about this, then you would be still on equal footing. Not, I don't mean like the reviewing part, of course. If you learn about this more about this topic more than her or them or him, of course you have a greater score. But I mean is, for me, what matters is how you see the world and how you deal with it. What's your mindset? Is it like, you know? Or like, is it like people are talking? Anyway, is it like I need to control my fate? You know, I just have two mindsets that I really keep in mind. No, two. Uh, First is like the mindset where I need to be in control. Basically, my destiny is in my own hands. Basically, like in times that I need to step up first. And this applies to everything, in every perspective, in social situations, in like, you know, in everything. And other mindset would be let them mindset. You just literally, you just literally do nothing, and then let them. Hence the name, I guess. So yeah, you just let them do this, let them think of that, and you just let yourself be free. I think that's what the mindset is like failing to say. It's not just letting someone destroy you. Of course, you still have to intervene. It's not like a mindset that you would follow like religiously. You know, what I mean, like it's not gonna suppress you. Of course, you still have to do. If you have to do something about it, especially when you are a grown adult. So yeah, and yeah, the question I'm really with going up far from the question. How no? Do you think that you can learn new things no matter how old you get? The answer is yes. Like there's no. And another perspective. Oh, this will be my. This video is long. I know. Another perspective would be: do you think that you can learn new things no matter how old you get, if you want to? Because people just rot, and it's really due to valid reasons like burnout, or like you know depressive episodes, mental issues, or like they have to deal with a really traumatic event, dealing with or healing, that would stunt or like stop the learning process or like learning something new. They would just be, they would love to be in an isolated area where they can be at peace. Serendipity. I think that's what the serendipity means, right? Enjoying one's company, protecting your own peace, and not letting anyone in. That would be the safest option. Safest, like it's really sure that you're gonna be safe in that way. But in return, you can't really grow as a person. You can't really learn new things. You just want to be stagnant. And that's really, I respect that because I feel like I've been through that, really. And, when you're ready to go delve into hell of a world again, in this fucking world, sorry for the language, then, you can go again. Just rot in bed one day, and then one day, the other day, you'll be going on with the grind again. So, really, life is really complicated. It's just, what you need to do. I think, really, I could give an advice right now. Like, if life is really complicated, it's not like things are gonna get better. No, things are not gonna get better because things will change in a way that things will change over time. And you must mind too that you change over time. You learn new things over time. You heal with time, you grow with time, and with that, the things that you've struggled upon, like in the past, you would realize it. As long if you really reflect on it, you would realize that those things are not hard now. Like those things are not hard to deal with. Those feelings are not hard to process. Like it's less hard to process. I mean, because you've grown as a person. I think that's what people are feeling to get. You know, because that's like the 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 cliche that I kind of hate. It gets better. No, you get better. You get better at dealing with it. You get harder, and you get realer. You would just get real. So yeah, I think that would be it. It's like a 25-minute video, but yeah. So that would be my thumbnail.